Hi everyone, this is Karen Hooley, and I'm really excited to have you join me for Crochet, Coffee, and Chat today. Um, you'll probably notice that I am in a different position, doing a new setup here. Yay! Hi Linda and Brat. Glad you guys are here. Um, as I was saying, I have a new setup. I got an early Christmas gift this year, and I'm hoping, Linda, can you hear me? I'm going to make sure that this is all working properly. But I got an early Christmas gift this year, and it is an iPad. And so I was able to set up my my broadcasts now, and I think I'm going to be able to do two cameras. So if I can do two cameras, I'll be able to do some teaching techniques. So, first of all, if you're here, make sure you stop in and say hello on the chat. I see that Linda's here already. If you can't hear me, let me know. I need to know so that I have. I noticed that this is not recording properly. If you want to learn more about me, you can visit my website. I'm showing that on the screen right now. You can follow me on Instagram at Karen Hooley. I'm starting to do some videos in my stories and stuff. So it's like fits and starts right now because I'm still trying to figure out the process. But I will be trying to do a daily video on Instagram if I can. Okay, so, and you can also follow me on Facebook. Some of you might be watching this on Facebook, so make sure you do that as well. Okay, so let me go into the comments and see if there's anybody else here. Again, Linda, if you could please just let me know whether or not you hear me. I'd appreciate it. And again, today I'm gonna let's start this video with just testing out some of the features to see if it works while I'm doing a live. So the first thing I want to do is I want to invite my second camera in. And so I'm going to do that right now. So can you guys see my second camera right here with my hands and the hat? I want to see if that works. For me, it's working. So I want to make sure you guys see that as well. This will allow me to show technique. I can also do spotlight video where I have my hands there and you can still see my face. Or if I want to do just the second cam, I can do that too. So I'm kind of excited about this. Oh, this looks like it's going to work. Can you guys just let me know if you're seeing this? I know there's a couple people out there, so can you guys just let me know what you're seeing here? I'd really appreciate it. You see both and you're on Facebook. Awesome. This is exciting. And you can hear me too, I'm assuming, Susan, since you've commented. I'm glad you're here. I hope everything's going well with you. So anyway, so there's a couple things I wanted to just check out, and it seems like it's gonna work. Stream. Okay, there I am. There we go. There I am again. Yay! Okay. Awesome. So there's a couple things I thought I'd talk to you guys about today. I want to do this entire live stream like this. So see if this format works, or if I would want to use my computer screen and just the camera hanging instead of the iPad. So I'm testing out the iPad. I know the one feature that I'm already starting to see is that I really can't type well on my iPad if I'm using it to stream. So that's one downside. So yay. Hello, El Shelton. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for jumping in and saying hi. Okay, so it looks like my cameras are all working. So this looks like it's going to be something I can use in the future for streaming. So I'm really excited about that. I'm going to do this again, just one more time, just through them. There we go. Awesome. Okay. So what a great, oh, you guys have no idea how much I've been trying to find a way to use two screens on my lives. So this is amazing that I can actually do this. So how's everybody's week been? Have you guys had a really good week? We're getting close to Christmas. I think I have all my kids' stuff figured out. My husband and I gave each other early Christmas gifts. We got iPads for each other. So that's kind of what I'm using right now. And I'm knitting a pair of socks for my son that I've had fits and starts with, and I had to rip them out. Otherwise, I'd show them to you because, but it's just yarn now. So he's not going to have them in time for Christmas, but that's okay. He knows what they are. I always have my kids pick out the colors. So yeah, this is a gift that they always know they're getting. So he knows that I'm a little behind. So anyway, I like it too. L. Shelton, I love it too. It's actually something I'm really excited that I can finally do some stuff with you guys, other than me just sitting here talking. I feel like sometimes I'm a talking head, and this time I can do some stuff like showing how to do gauge or show you a stitch, or in fact later on I'm going to pull out my list and I'm going to ask you guys to give me some ideas of what you'd like to see coming in the new year. I'm going to be I can give you guys an update of my house. We close on January 13th, so from like the 14th to the I'm going to say the end of the month, I'm going to be working on moving. So I'm planning to do these lives, but we'll see what happens. I mean, it could be, yeah, it's going to be interesting. That's all I can say for sure. Are you guys getting any feedback at all? All of a sudden, I'm hearing like a whistle sound. I don't know if that's me because my asthma is kind of kicking in. It's really dry here, and I've got my coffee to kind of keep my voice going. But if you hear some feedback, let me know. Okay, we got a family present early. We picked a lab puppy. I love labs. They're so cute. I'm allergic to dogs, so we can't have dogs. We have cats. It's really weird. I'm one of those weird people who is not allergic to cats, but is allergic to dogs. So it's usually cats or both. It's never dogs and not cats, usually, according to my doctors anyway. So I'm one of those weird people, but I love labs. So cute. I keep saying I want to try out a couple of those supposedly hyperallergenic dogs, but right now it's just there's not a good time to start having a puppy, and I know no one right now that has one of those puppies that I can play with, so or dogs. So we'll see, maybe in the other end. Okay, cool. It could be my voice and my hearing aids doing it. That's why I was asking about the feedback, because I don't know if you guys know, I also wear hearing aids. I have a degenerative condition with my ears runs in my family, and we're trying to retrain my ears and my brain so that I don't go deaf by 60 like my great grandmother did. So okay, so Susan, if you're on Facebook and everybody else is on YouTube, you're not going to see the YouTube comments. That's why you're only seeing, so you're the only one here right now that I can tell if that's on Facebook watching. So that's why you're not seeing anybody else's comments, because I'm live streaming both from YouTube and Facebook. And I just got notifications, you guys, that Rumble is also going to be starting live streaming soon. I don't know when exactly. So I might be actually streaming to all three places right up front. So when that starts. So you can have 3 choices of where you can watch me. So does that make sense, Susan? I'm sorry that that's what happens. I mean, I've been toying with the fact that I am not getting a whole lot of interaction in Facebook. So I'm trying these lives, streaming in both places to see if I can build up some uh, build up some community on Facebook. But I just, for some reason, Facebook and I just cannot build up my community there and get interactions and stuff like that. So I thought, you know, these lives might do it, but I'm going to continue streaming live to Facebook. I'm going to continue streaming live to Facebook until probably the end of the year and maybe into January a little bit, just to see if I can gain some traction there. But if I don't gain traction, the only places I'll stream then it will be Rumble and YouTube. If once Rumble goes, so we'll see. If you want to find me on YouTube, look for Karen Hooley Designs on Susan. For Susan, you just, I think it's Karen Hooley Designs is exactly, I think it's how it's put, but that's how it goes. So I'm glad to have you on Facebook because at least tells me that there's somebody out there that's watching my Facebook page. I get far more interaction for my lives on YouTube, obviously. And then I just started uploading my lives to Rumble after the fact. I download them to my computer and then upload them to Rumble. So you can watch them in both places. And of course, the Facebook is always on Facebook. In the future, you know, I may end up streaming on Rumble only and have them post it to YouTube for me. That's another option I can do as well, or I'll just stream in both places. I haven't decided yet. So that's something that could happen. Don't update to the new Facebook experience. Merrily Bird is, oh, is she really? Oh, I haven't been, Facebook and I have a love-hate relationship, and it's more hate right now. In fact, I should tell you guys a story because you guys will appreciate this. If you have gotten my book, Modern Italian Lace Crochet, you know what it's all about. It's all crochet pieces that are done with stitches from my grandmother's stitch dictionaries and things that she taught me, and other Italian stitch dictionaries that I've received over the years. And Facebook has this new thing for business pages that if you have a shopping cart, you can upload your products so that you can start selling them on Facebook. So that instead of me having to put the whole link there, I can just tag the product and it'll take you to the page. So it's let's try it. Well, I got a notice that same day that I decided to try it that Modern Italian Lace Crochet was rejected because it was too sexually explicit. I'm shocked. I even told my photographer this was going on, and she said the model would be totally mortified. I mean, you guys know that it's not sexually explicit in any way, shape, or form. So that was another kind of drawback for me on Facebook. So you might see Facebook kind of going away. I just, there's a lot about Facebook that I've never liked from the moment I signed up back in 2010. I might keep my personal page because there's, family and some friends from high school and college that I still keep in touch with. And it's pretty much the only way to be keep in touch. In fact, last night, my sorority from college, we had all of us who joined the sorority in the 80s and were living, in the Chico area. I went to California State University at Chico. And so we did a Zoom call yesterday. And the only way I would have known about it if it wasn't for Facebook. And there are girls there that I haven't seen in like 30 years. So it was so exciting. So that's what I would use Facebook for. My business, I'm having issues. So yeah. I can't, I'm glad you guys are rolling your eyes, and Facebook and I have had just issues. So, you know, I've talked about going to MeWe. I don't know that I'll do that because it's basically the same kind of experience, and it's not what I mean, I know it's different, and they don't, you know, do a lot of these things like having the tags for the products and all that stuff. But I don't know if I'm going to go there. So you know, and maybe just Instagram, YouTube, Rumble for right now. I've started using Vero as well. If anybody's on Vero, I'm not real consistent there because they don't have a lot of the features again that Instagram has. So, and Instagram, I'm starting to learn, and I'm starting to kind of like the interaction. There's things about Instagram I don't like either, but at least I'm starting to get the hang of it. And starting to use more of the features. And now that I have this new setup with my camera above and the iPad, I can do so much more with Instagram, and I get a lot of interaction there. So that's kind of one of the things that I'm thinking about doing. So if you guys are looking at that stuff, then I wanted to tell you guys, I did this yesterday on Instagram, and I'm going to do a double screen here as soon as I get this put down here. Let me, okay, there we go. So I wanted to tell you, I was doing a little bit of inventory yesterday. I was doing some financial stuff, and I thought I better go look at these books because I knew I was getting low on these books. This is my Crochet Rock Socks book. This is my copy, so it's got a sticker here, so I never lose it. This book was released, I self-published this in 2012, and it's a book on socks, and they're all themed on rock and roll songs. I started with Elvis Presley. There you go, Blue Suede Shoes. And then, you know, I've got Brown Sugar for the Rolling Stones. And the patterns are in here. There's charts. Bad Name for Bon Jovi. Bon Jovi is my all-time favorite. Prince, Purple Rain. So this is my favorite shot in the whole book, Born in the USA, with the socks hanging out of the back pocket. Anyway, I have 9 copies of this book left in my stock. And this is a book I can no longer get printed copies to do autographs for. Amazon is doing something weird because I had these printed through Amazon, and when they switched over their software systems, this book just crashed. They will not accept it for the new system. So I can no longer get printed copies of this book. So if there's 9 copies left, if you don't have it and you want to order it now, you can. But once they're gone, they're gone. You'll only be able to get like Kindle version and PDF versions and stuff like that, but no more print copies. So I just want to let everybody know there's only 9 left. So that's that. I'm going to go back to just me here. Okay. So, anybody have some stuff to talk about? Oh, nervous to do socks. The heels mess everybody up. And so just so you know, I'm going to be, I have started to film a sock class that I'm going to do where you would sign up, and you'd actually have videos that for me, you know, be kind of self-paced for the most part. But you have the option to do some Zoom calls with me, and I would do them in groups. So let's say I launched the class February 1st, then maybe February 6th, I'd have a Zoom call with everybody who's purchased the class that, you know, on this first section, the second section, the third section, that kind of thing. So if you're interested in doing socks, be watching for that. I might even do just straight Zoom Lives classes on that. I just completed one at the end of September for my local yarn shop, and it worked out really well. I mean, everybody had a pair of completed socks. It was a 4-week class, an hour and a half each week. We did a different portion of the sock every week, and in between each week, you would do one sock in class with me, and then you'd finish that portion of the second sock before the next class. So by the end of the class, you had both socks completed, just so you know. So if you guys are interested in that, let me know. that's another thing I'm really excited about this setup for, is that now I can teach on Zoom. And I did test it out yesterday, and or Monday I tested out, everything worked fine. Yesterday I was supposed to have a Zoom call with some of my pattern testers, and I had a problem, but it was my fault. I didn't set up my camera, my iPhone camera correctly, and so I was getting all this feedback. But I figured out what I did wrong between the 2 days. So now I'm going to go ahead and do Zoom classes with this setup so that you can see my face and my hands. So I'm going to be scheduling those probably in the near, I think the first classes will be in February. And I'm going to do some during the week classes, and I'm going to try to do only one Saturday a month that I offer classes. So if you're going to do a long-term class, it might not be on a Saturday until I figure out my schedule. Or it might not be until like summer, or not summer, but it's spring after Easter maybe. So just so you guys know. But while we're here, anybody have questions for me or anything before we start talking about what kind of Zoom lives you'd like to see me do? I'm actually gonna write them down while we're here. So what are you guys working on? I have a super secret project. You can kind of see it right there, that kind of burgundy color behind me. Can't show you what it is, but you can see the color. What else am I working on? I finished my sweater. Like I told you guys last week, I finished my sweater. I have not woven in the ends yet. I have been so bad this week. We have been working with trying to get movers out here and changing a bunch of stuff, and last week was a hard week, so I didn't get it done. So I'm hoping I'm hoping before Christmas, because I really want to wear that sweater for Christmas, even though I'm really not going anywhere other than church. So anybody else want to share what they're working on? I'm hoping that by next week I'll have a project that I'll be working on, unless I'm going to do something fun with the Zoom Live. Okay, well then what I'm going to do is I am going to, let me just do that. So let's see, you love new stitches. You had issues with front post stitch and went into the top. Okay, so you want to, are looking for like, I love the linked double crochet. I just saw that. But you want to do like learning new stitches for Zoom. I already thought about doing something on gauge, and then show you guys how I weave in ends. Okay, weaving in ends, and then so Elle Shelton, are you looking for like for me to teach you a new stitch? Like, I mean, I'm gonna use basic stitches here, but like if I find a cool shell pattern, teach you how to do a shell, or did you want to do a class on post stitches? I mean, or a little mini lesson on post stitches, because cables and post stitches are some of my favorite things to do. So I'm be glad to teach that. That would be, so let me know. And if anybody's interested in link stitches, I'd be glad to do like a little mini lesson on one of the link stitches. I do teach live, and I'm probably going to teach on Zoom as well, linked stitches and extended stitches. So you'll have an option to take those with me live as a full-blown class. Those will be 90-minute classes to learn those. So if you're interested in those, I'm also going to be scheduling foundation stitch class, meaning, you know, a lot of you probably already know how to do a foundation, single crochet foundation, double crochet foundation, triple, all those. But I also teach how to do them with shells and V stitches and other stitches, so that you can start, you know, stitches that have spaces between them. The first row, it could be like 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets, chain 1, that kind of thing, and skip a chain in between. I can teach you guys how to do that. Okay, Susan says, try to figure out Zoom, but can't get the sound to work. Okay, sound is big with Zoom, obviously. I can't really help with that because everybody's system is different. So it could be something with the computer that you're using. It could be something with if you have separate speakers. I know that with my Zoom, when I'm going on someone else's call, I always have to verify because I have a standalone speaker. It's a Google voice. It's a Google speaker that's connected to my computer as my sound. And if for some reason it disconnects from my computer, I can't hear anything. So before I go into Zoom, I verify my speaker. So that's something just to check. You're working on some mini sweaters for baby shower papers. How cute! That's awesome, Susan. Okay. Oh, Shelton, hubby is in love with Mandala Blankets, and they have lots of new stitches I've never seen before. Mini lesson on post stitches and cables. Okay, so I'm going to do post stitches and cables on here. I might do like okay, so those are the ones I'm going to start with there. Yes, I actually do teach a class on cables, just cables, the straight cables themselves, because part of the problem with cables is that the idea of the post stitches taking the place of working on the top of the stitch, and people end up losing stitches by the end of their row is an issue. So what I do is I teach a cable class making fingerless mitts that are flat, and then we seam them up and leaving a hole for your thumb, and then we crochet like a little single crochet thumb area. So if you're interested in that too, that's another class. When I do the Zoom lives, I'm going to be giving you the basics, and it's going to be, I'm going to answer all your questions and things like that. But if you really want to delve deep, my classes would be the way to go. The other stitch I'm thinking about teaching, and I don't know if you guys have seen the Potholder Stitch. It used to be really popular in the late 90s, early 2000s. Some people call it the thermal stitch. I like the name Potholder Stitch because that's what originally was for me. I always used it to make potholders, but it's literally working two colors at the same time so that one side is just one color. So like for me, I always use a variegated on one side and a solid, matching solid on the other. I've also made blankets that way and stuff like that. And it's a simple stitch once you understand it. So if that's something of interest, let me know because I'd love to do a class on that or a little mini lesson on that. It's not something that it's not a technique that I can do a full-blown class on. So, I mean, once you learn it, you can always go back to the video and look at it. But let me know if that's something you'd be interested in. Anybody else have ideas of things they'd like to see me do as far as Zoom lives or not Zoom lives, I'm sorry, Facebook and YouTube lives and Rumble at some point. Post stitches are something that I get questions about all the time, Shelton. So that's actually been something I've been thinking about for a while. How to do that for a mini lesson. Anybody else have anything they'd like to see? That reversible stitch class is coming probably in February, and it'll probably be during the week. Because I know you really want to take that class, Linda. So I'm thinking I'm not 100% sure because I did a survey with my newsletter subscribers, and the days of the week and the times of day are all over the board. So I think what I'm going to end up doing is just picking a couple days of the week that I'm going to hold some classes, and it won't be every single week, but like maybe 1 week every month I'll do a class on a Wednesday, a Thursday, a Friday, and a Saturday, that kind of thing. And maybe do 2 classes during the week and 1 on a Saturday. So just thought, but that is definitely something I am definitely gonna put on there. Don't be a nag. Don't be a nag. I've been wanting to put it up. It's just the move has kind of, my schedule's so uncertain right now. I didn't want to schedule any classes before the end of the year. And now that I know we're going to be moving in January, I probably won't start till February. Reversible stitches. You would like to learn some new ones too. Cool. Okay, Susan, that's awesome. That's awesome. Okay. And there are a couple other reversibles out there that there's a reversible technique that came out like in the early 2010s, called interlocking crochet. And I just got the book recently. I mean, I remember it coming out, but I don't remember ever learning it. So it's something that I'd like to play with and see if that's something you guys might like to try. You might actually get a little mini lesson while I'm trying to learn how to do it. So definitely reversible stitches are interesting. So, and I agree. I do some reversibles in ripple stitches as well as the reversible shell stitch class that Linda was talking about. So anybody else having? Another thing I've wanted to do is sweaters, but doing 2 different size length arms. Oh, okay. So when you say 2 different size length arms, are you saying that you're afraid that one arm's going to be longer than the other? Is that what you're saying before I answer that question? I think that's what you're saying. Because if you're working, okay, there's exactly, okay. It's all gauge. It's all gauge, L. Shelton. As long as you're making your sweater sleeves, what I do is I have a stitch counter next to me. So every time I do a row, I click the counter so I know how many rows, you know, especially I can't show you because I'm using my iPad, but I have a digital stitch counter on my iPad and on my phone, called Knit and Crochet Stitch Counter, I think. I'll look it up and I'll put it in the show notes for sure. But it's like a purple background. The app is a purple background and it's got like a knitting needle and a crochet hook crossed like this on it. It does link to Ravelry if you're a Ravelry user, but what's really cool about it is that when you start a new counter, you can set it up and you can say, okay, so I have to increase 2 stitches every 5th row, and you can tell the system, the counter to do that so that you can keep track of how many increases you've done, how many rows you've done, and how many repeats you've done. And that helps with my sleeves. That's one thing. The other thing is making sure your gauge is always the same. And if you're off by, you know, like a 1/2 inch, even a 3/4 of an inch, blocking will fix that. I mean, just block the 2 sleeves to the right size and you're fine with those sleeves if you're doing separate sleeves. Now, if you're doing something like a top-down sweater where, and that's another class I'll be teaching sometime next year, is top-down sweaters, raglan style sweaters. It's all a gauge thing because you're working from the neckline down. When you get to the point where you join for the sleeves, you just work the body and then you attach you start crocheting each sleeve separately. It's the same thing. You want to make sure you have the same number of rows, that you've increased in the right places, decreased in the right places, depending on what you need to do. And that that both sides have the same number of rows. And when you do that, I can't guarantee they're going to be exactly the same length because tension is huge. Gauge is your most important thing. And if you're always on gauge, they should be the same. But if they're off by an inch, less than an inch, you can block it. If they're off by more than an inch, usually you have more rows on one side than the other. So that's kind of where you're at. Susan had learned a few in class with Melissa Leitman. Oh, yeah. Yes. Melissa Leitman has some really good reversible stitches in her stitch dictionary. Yes. Yes. Oh, good. I'm glad, Shelton, that worked. That makes sense. But gauge is your most important thing, and keep making sure you have the right number of stitches. Definitely. Anybody else have something I can teach like within an hour of on a live? I can teach things like I can do, like, is anybody interested in Tunisian stitches and want to learn different Tunisian stitches? I do teach a Tunisian basics class that's like a 2 week, or it's a 3 hour class, and I break it up into an hour and a half sessions to learn 6 different Tunisian stitches. So that's one I'm going to be teaching. But if you'd like to learn like Tunisian simple stitch, you don't understand Tunisian, or you get frustrated with it, that's something I might teach as a quick one. Oh, good. Okay, so I'm going to put basic Tunisian. Someone had asked me last week if I would do broomstick lace. I forgot about that, so I'm going to put that on here. That one I have to play with because it's been a few years since I've done broomstick lace, but that's one I will definitely add to my list. I can do hairpin lace too if you guys are interested in hairpin. These are classes, broomstick and hairpin. There are so many people who teach that live, and they're on their own that are that have been doing it for years, that I don't offer that class. But if you're interested in hairpin, I can do some basics on hairpin lace. Oh, Bruges. I can do some Bruges. I can do some basic Bruges just to give you an idea of how it works. Increasing, decreasing in Tunisian. Okay. Okay, that works. Anything else, guys? I mean, you guys are doing, this is great, because I like to hear from the people who watch me, because I don't know what it is you guys want to learn. So if you tell me what it is you want to learn, I can easily, set it up. I mean, I know what the basics are for people who are beginners that usually struggle with, like, keeping your sides straight, or how to actually do increases, where the best place to put in increases. Gauge is always something that everybody has issues with, whether it's straight, how do I find my gauge? If the pattern says in pattern this many stitches, this many rows, what does that mean? How do I work with that? That kind of thing. And I do have a few patterns myself. Do you guys like seeing me, or would you like to see me do a little bit of, like, if I'm releasing a pattern, if there's a tricky technique in like the edging? I know there was a pattern I just released a couple months ago that everyone said you need to do a video on the edging. And I haven't done that yet. I need to do that. Would you like to see stuff like that, where there's, when I release a pattern and there's a tricky bit in there? Would that be of interest? And then, are you guys fans? I know there's a lot of designers out there who literally will work a project through multiple videos online. I mean, do every stitch of that project, or a good portion of every section of that project. Are you interested in that kind of thing? Because I can do those kinds of things live, and then they'll always be there in perpetuity for people to go back and look at. I just don't know, I'd like to know what you guys want. So, but you guys have given me a really good start here, making me think of different things to do. And actually I might, again, through the end of the year, I'm not sure exactly what my topics are going to be for this. So maybe I'll throw one of these in before the end of the year, but for sure you'll start seeing some of these in February. January, I'm kind of going to be a little freeform like I've been lately because of the move. But definitely do some planned lessons with some of these things. So anything else you guys are interested in, just shoot them out to me, put them in the comments, in the comment box on this video, wherever you're watching it, Facebook, YouTube, and if you were watching this after the fact on Rumble, make sure you just put them in the comments and let me know if there's anything that comes to mind later too. So I think, what I should tell you guys, for those of you who were here last week, and I recorded that video for my new rewards point system, the Hooligan Rewards. When I went to go edit it to make it a video on my website, I realized that for just about a third to a half of the video, I left up the link for the book that I was showing you guys, the Live Loop Cables book. And I didn't want that on my screen. So at some point, I'm just going to do my own video. It won't be a live. And I will just do a video with the information about that. So yeah. Link to your YouTube for the lives. Subscribe to your channel, but don't see the live. Oh, that's weird. Okay. I usually do put them out there. Whenever I schedule a live, it automatically shows up. And then if you're subscribed to my channel, it'll notify you. So you're subscribed now, Susan. So you should get notification for next week that you'll see that I'm going live on YouTube. So that's that should make things a little better for you. But if not, let me know next week. So I know how Shelton, I start doing things on this. And like I said, I'm learning this new software system, the StreamYard that you're seeing up at the top of the screen. StreamYard is the software that I'm using, and I'm not using the full paid program. I'm using the partial. It's a lower level entry to this software just to see if I like it. And that's why you still see the StreamYard up at the top. If I end up using this full time, which I'm kind of thinking I will, the word StreamYard will go away at the top. But I'm still learning the ins and outs of this software. So yeah, so I'm doing weird things like leaving things on the screen, because I can put the banners up, like that, where it says visit my website or follow me on Instagram or Facebook. And even last week I did the new reward system. But I got to learn to remember to shut those off when I'm done. So yeah, that's kind of funny. So. Okay, don't use YouTube. You don't use YouTube. And yeah, a lot of people, don't use YouTube that much except for searching for videos and things like that. As long as you are subscribed now, you should get notified every time I go live now. You should depending on how you have your account set up, it should either send you an email or if you have YouTube active on your phone or on your computer, it should tell you, okay, Karen's gone live. So just watch for that next week. And now that you're subscribed, so it'll notify you no matter what. So anybody else have anything? Still got another like 15, 20 minutes. Well, about 15. So we can talk about anything you guys want, questions. I'm also, last week I mentioned this, but for those people who weren't here last week, I'm going to go ahead and put me back as the person. I am going to start doing, probably in February also, either twice a month or once a month, I'll do a Zoom call live, where we can just sit and crochet and chat and that kind of thing to get the personal interaction. I can't, other than seeing your posts, it's not like I can see your face and I can talk to you directly and we can, you can ask me questions other than in the chat. And sometimes you need that personal interaction. So I'm thinking, like a little crochet time thing like that. So if you're interested in that, keep watching for that. If you're not subscribed to my newsletter subscribers always get the news first about everything. So you might want to subscribe. You can subscribe at KarenHooley.com. Again, I'll put that back up on the screen. You can subscribe there. That's another way to find out when I'm going to be doing new things. The other thing I want to let you know too is that I'll have my last newsletter going out on Friday of this week for 2020. And then in January, on January 1st, you'll get, actually January 1st is a Friday this year. So it'll be my first newsletter of the year. And if you're a newsletter subscriber, you know that every year on January 1st, you get a brand new pattern that's for free. So be watching for that. And if you have any friends who aren't subscribed to my newsletter, let them know about the fact that I offer a free pattern upon subscription. And so that's the 2020 limitless pattern that is coming. That is still the free pattern when you join my newsletter. So if they join between now and the first of the year, they will not only get 2020's pattern, but on January 1st, they'll get 2021's pattern, which I'm not going to share yet what it is. And it's going to be in the newsletter. So I'm really excited about it. I just got the pictures back from the photographer and it's gorgeous. So I'm really excited to be offering this as a free pattern. And I'm also going to be doing a new release in late January. I think it's the 26th. The pattern's going to be released and you'll be hearing about that in January. So there's a lot going on behind the scenes that I can't talk about. And as soon as I finish this project that I've got on my desk, I'll be working on some projects that I can actually show you. So I just have to get this done. It's a big project. It's done in lace weight yarn. So it's taking me a little bit longer, but I have to get this done before the end of the year. So, and I'm about not quite halfway done with it. So I'm hoping that by the middle of next week, it'll be done. So there's that. Anybody else have anything you want to chat about? Do you guys like this new format where I think we talked about you like the dual cameras and you're able to see things. So like when I was writing on this pad of paper, you guys could see what I was writing. Is that one thing this doesn't allow me to do is to zoom in. So I have to kind of figure out how to make that work. So when I'm here, I'm going to put that back. Can you see the words there? Okay. I do write big, so I can see them on my screen, but I don't know if you can see my words there. You like the two camera views. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think that's a feature that's really, the software and then the new setup are the two things that make this possible. So, and actually, if I ever want to do 3, I can add a third camera to it if I need to, that kind of thing. So that's kind of exciting. So there we go. Okay, so I'm here learning the software as we're talking. So you guys are awesome because sometimes I feel like I babble a lot on these, and and like today I feel like I'm babbling a lot because I'm learning this stuff. So I definitely want to start doing some technique and stitch videos. So I'm excited. I'm really excited, you guys, about all this. So, and I'm looking forward to 2021. If you don't know, New Year's is not only New Year, the start of the new year, but I'm also a New Year's baby. So it'll be my birthday. And for me, New Year's has always been, we're starting a new year in all ways. So I'm getting a year older, but I'm also, I am just ready to see the backside of 2020. I'm sure a lot of you guys are too. I'm really hoping to see, I'm already scheduled for an event in October of 2021 to actually fly and teach live. And I am praying all the time that event will go. I'm not going to Denver, Susan, for CGOA this year. It's too close to my daughter's wedding in September. I figured I'm not going to do anything that close to her wedding, so I won't be there. But this one's in October, and so the wedding will be over, and I'll probably be ready to do something that is not wedding related at that point. So I will be at that event. I haven't heard of any other events that are asking for teachers live, so I don't know if I'm going to do that. Let's only review. Yeah, in the review mirror. I am so ready for that. Linda is so ready. So I'm tired. I'm really glad that we had this move in the middle of all of this pandemic, because it kept my mind off of what was going on out there in a lot of ways, but it's still, it's still encroached on what we were doing. Like we were supposed to, the house was supposed to start being built in July, and we were supposed to be moved in by October, November. And of course that got pushed off until the middle of September. So the house didn't get started. And so we were here in this rental that I'm in right now. This is, for those of you who are new here, this is my temporary office in a rental. So I'm really excited because my new office, every time I go to see it, I have more ideas of what's going to be behind me when I do these Zoom or these YouTube lives. So there's stuff like that. Yes, Susan. And I'm praying that all of the events start coming live. I was supposed to teach at one in February here locally called the Red Alder. It's in Tacoma, Washington, and I taught there I taught this last February before the shutdown. It's a brand new event. Took over for Madrona. If anybody has heard of Madrona, Madrona was the big event in Washington for 20 years, and the people who ran it retired, and they sold the event to John Malarkey, who's a weaver, and he and his partner have renamed it to Red Alder, and they did the first event last year, or this last February. It was amazing. And I was supposed to teach there again this coming February, but of course that got canceled. But he is planning to do it in 2022, so I'm hoping that I'll get to do that one. But yeah, those events in 2021, I'm really concerned. So that's why you're going to see me doing a lot of live video coming up in the new year. So I need to see my people, and I need to work, teach you guys and share my knowledge. One of the things my grandmother taught me is that you don't keep your knowledge to yourself. You give it to other people. And she gave me her knowledge, and she expected me to teach my kids, which I've done. And she I don't think she expected me to be a national teacher, but that's, for me, that's important to teach you guys the things that I know that you might not, or teach you little tricks to make your crochet better, hopefully. And to teach you new things, whether it's new to me, because like I said, I reviewed that, or kind of reviewed that book last week, the live loop crochet. I've never seen that technique before. So I'm going to be learning that, and I'll be chatting with you guys about what I'm going to be learning about that. So, so I want to share what I know and what I learned with you guys. And I can't tell you how much you guys share with me and the knowledge you guys give me, because sometimes about something that I don't, because I get bogged down into my little world sometimes with what I'm working on, that I don't open up my eyes and see what other people are doing. So I can't tell you, like the live loop crochet, someone mentioned it to me, and I went and the book had come up in my feed, and I had already ordered it. And then someone mentioned it to me that they had seen it. And so now that really piqued my interest. So hoping in January, once all this big secret project's done, I can at least carve out a little bit of time before the move to play with that. So yeah, and now I'm babbling again, guys. Oh, you know what? Behind me, I don't know if you can see, I can't point. I'm still learning which direction is which here too. Right there, there's a roll of stickers. I just had these made. Oops, there we go. These Karen Hooley design, they're 3-inch stickers. So they were a lot bigger than I thought they were going to be. I thought they were going to be like 1.5, 2 inches. But these are going to start going in packages that I ship to my customers. If you buy a physical product, like my books, right now it's pretty much my books. I'm also thinking about doing some swag like this. When somebody signs up for a class, I might just stick it in an envelope and ship it to you as a little thing. Oh, and then I forgot, I'm working on a logo. Oh, I'm glad. I know that's the social part. That's why I started these live videos, is because I just needed to talk to people who understand crochet and what I'm doing. And my family's been with me through this for the last 22 years. They still don't get it. So the social part of crochet is so important. Now I've lost my train of thought. Oh, when you guys schedule classes, I'm going to probably ship off a little sticker, but then I was going to tell you, that's what reminded me what it was I was going to say. My followers have always called themselves Team Hooligan, or the Hooligans. And we've always spelt it the traditional way of WHOOLIGAN. But what someone had told me, I mean, to really make it stand out, I should really make it Hooligans, but with my full last name, because my last name is Hooley. So if it's from now on, Team Hooligan is going to be WHOOLEYGANS. And I am actually having a logo made for Team Hooligan. So be watching for that. I'm going to have some swag for that as well. So I'm excited about that. And I'll be sending those things out to people randomly, or with orders, or I'll do some giveaways. I'll have some swag made, like t-shirts, if you want to have a Team Hooligan t-shirt, or a tote bag or something like that. I'm going to be working on that. But the logo's in process. So as soon as the logo gets done, I'll share it with everybody. Oh, and the other thing too, is I've been calling this this live stream every week, Crochet, Coffee, and Chat. It's a lot to say. It really is a lot to say. So if anybody has any ideas to shorten the name, I mean, like Yarn Cafe or Crochet Cafe, or Live with Karen, I don't want to use that, but something that's crochet related, shoot me a note or stick it in the comments and let me know, because I'd really like to rename this live, because I'm planning to continue this even after the pandemic's over. I really enjoy being live with you guys. So I definitely want to rename it, and I'd like to do a new little logo for that as well. So any ideas? Awesome, guys. I mean, this is your event as much as it is mine. So I definitely want to share, come up with something that's easier for me to say. So I guess we're closing in on 10 o'clock here, my time. I'm on the West Coast, if anybody didn't know that. I'm about 3 hours behind the East Coast. So it's probably getting to be about 1 p.m. your time if you're on the East Coast. But I will be back next week. I might even do one of these topics next week. I'll have to see what's going on in my life this week. But that'll be the day my son is flying in. But I think he's flying in later in the day. So, I was thinking Crochet Chat. Linda, I was thinking Crochet Chat or Yarn Chat or something like that. So I have to just check that no one else is using that name for their podcasts or live videos. So especially if I'm going to do a logo and stuff, I don't want to encroach on someone else's name. That's why I was thinking, like Yarn Cafe or Crochet Cafe or something like that. I haven't seen that name out there. But if you guys have names, I will research them and see if they're being used by someone else. Okay, well, it's time for me to go. I've got to get cracking on this project here. But I'm so glad you all came. You have no idea how much you guys lift me up every week. And I appreciate you watching me fuss with this new software and do the 2 cameras. And you guys have given me so many good ideas on topics, and maybe from there I will expand my own mind of, I could do this or I could do that. True, Linda, because I do every once in a while talk knit. Because I am a knitter. For those of you who don't know, I do knit as well as crochet. Although there's a 30-year gap between when I learned to crochet and when I learned to knit. So I consider myself a new knitter. I also am a spinner and a new spinner as well. So you never know when I might pull out my wheel and show you guys my wheel and do something like that too. But anyway, thank you for being here, everyone. And don't forget, if you're on YouTube, so you hit the subscribe button. If you're on Rumble watching this after the fact, hit the subscribe button. And if you're on Facebook, make sure to like this video and leave me a note and tell me that you're here. And always, when I ask questions, make sure to leave me comments even after the fact. I appreciate hearing from each and every one of you. So have an awesome week, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye, everyone.